Okay, so I went to this religious school from the time I was 4 years old until I graduated high school. And it was extremely controlling, and like all of the things that I loved to do were against the rules. Like we weren't allowed to dance, and like there was no like physical touch between any of the children, and like music was one of my deep loves, and rock music was completely against the rules. And if they caught you like dancing or playing rock music, and you could suffer punishments, like you could be expelled or suspended. So for most of my youth life, I felt extremely judged every day.
I feel judged a lot as an older person. For one, there's the assumption that I don't know anything about technology. When I went into the library to look for a book, the fellow said, are you on the computer? And I've been on the computer since 1992. Like sometimes they talk to you really simply and loudly, like you can't hear or you can't understand. And then you go out and people smile at you, in a certain way. Like, oh, look at that old lady. And the kids don't see people with gray hair anymore, so they stare at you. There's a lot of judgments that you have to be careful of. Like that's a big reason for senior isolation. I just don't want to have another conversation where who I am inside and what I look like outside is a big difference,
So it was this time where like people started going through puberty and stuff, and me and my friends decided to go to the public swimming pool, and like everyone started getting changed and stuff, and there were like guys that were looking from afar, and me and my girlfriends, we were like getting changed, and I like started to see that I wasn't like the thinnest girl. And so I was like feeling a bit fat, and then the other girls, they were like, yeah, we should go and talk to the guys and stuff. And I felt like really insecure because I didn't feel like comfortable in my body. And the guys were like staring at me, and I like felt like really bad because they were like the beautiful girls and I felt like fat in between them. So yeah.
Being an interracial couple, we get judged a lot in being in public. Not everywhere we've been, but we have been in the past. In having two interracial children, we do kind of get frowned on, but we overlook it and we feel that it's their issue, not ours. So we'll purposely smooch in public and just show lots of love because we're a loving family.
So I've been working in tech for almost 6 years, and some of my earlier stops, there's like this pressure to drink, and because of my faith I don't, and I felt like if I said no or didn't appear in bars and stuff, I was being super judged. I personally feel like it impacts advancement, like a lot of promotions or project coordination happens in these kinds of meetings, and if you're saying, hey, I don't partake in that, then it limits your opportunity to advance. So that's one thing that I've personally felt on a few occasions.
It was 6th grade. I was wearing I think it was like a bright yellow nail polish, and then this girl was like, oh, I think that color doesn't go with your skin. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? She's like, oh, you're too dark for that skin color. And I don't know, it just made me feel really bad. It was one of the first times where someone made a comment like that, about my skin color. I was like, what do you mean, anyone can wear this color, I feel like maybe it's those same kind of people who feel like, oh, that doesn't go with your skin color. Then it's when they grow up, they kind of portray that in magazines or the media. It makes you realize that people are kind of racist sometimes without them even knowing.
I was in probably 5th grade, and I got a new pair of boots, and I was really excited about them. And then I went to school, and these girls said that they're really ugly, and they made me look really bad. And when I went home and I started crying because I felt really self-conscious and judged because of who I am, and I was trying to express who I am with my clothes or something, and I felt really judged. My mom talked to me about it and just said, be yourself and show who you really are, even if you get judged for it or people are mean to you.
When I went from a multiracial elementary school to a white middle school, and I just felt like I had everyone was looking at me because I was a different skin color. So I guess I've always struggled with skin color and stuff, so I felt judged in middle school. Yeah, people would call me Harambe and stuff, and I was just like I'm feel attacked, but like I didn't really like show it to them, but like it bothered me, you know, like but like I know like whatever they say, it doesn't matter unless I'm okay with myself. So
I had just moved from my hometown, and I went to a different school where everybody was just like really had a lot of new brand clothes and everything, and I didn't have anything like that because my mom didn't have the money for it. So since I didn't have any of that stuff, I felt less of a person, and like I should have that stuff, and I just felt everybody was attacking me because of it.
Probably when I opened up to my friends, I was a raging alcoholic because I'm only like 21. I felt like everyone judged me.
When I shared my position on same-sex marriage.
So what happened exactly?
I was living that lifestyle, and for quite a few years, and I found my way back to God, and I said, I just need to be honest with you and let you know I'm not going to be voting that way. And I stood my position, and I was verbally attacked, and so then it ended a relationship for a while, but in time I did renew the relationship with the main individual.
I think I would feel the most judged, or I've felt the most judged on the internet or social media, or something where you're posting yourself or your thoughts or your pictures of your own face, and you're putting it out there for people to judge it, like or dislike. So that never has made me feel good, ever. Even when they're liking it or it's in a positive way. So I got rid of social media, and getting rid of social media is freedom from that crazy judgment that doesn't need to happen, that validation that feels so unnecessary, that you just need to give yourself.
The time I felt most judged was probably growing up when I was a ballet dancer, and being there, I was always the tallest and like the biggest girl, so I always felt judged, like just being in that room for many years, and kind of did something to my self-esteem. But yeah, that was when I felt most judged. It was funny because when I like hit puberty at like 11, 12 years old, I lost a lot of weight like really rapidly, and I could like physically see how people's reactions were different to me. Like the teacher was so much nicer to me just because I was a lot more skinny than before. It made me realize that people did treat me different if I looked a certain way, so I kind of like pressured myself to look, to basically almost like on the verge of like an eating disorder, because people treated me so much better when I was thinner than when I was a lot bigger.
I think that being a single mother right now, it's hard to like figure out where I sit, right? Is it with all of the rest of the mothers and the people who are married, or is it with I don't know, I'm just kind of in this like the awkward trance where I don't really know what like table to sit at or where I'm invited to anymore. So I'd like to sit at any table that I'm welcomed at. There you go.
After having to move to a location where I was literally one of maybe 3 Hispanic people, let alone like there was like 10 colored people in the entire school, so it was a very like 360 like flip from what I like grew up with. Anytime we would like walk into, like me and my family would walk into any of the stores, like the staff would always follow us around and trail us, and they'd be watching us and make sure that we're not like stealing things. People would say very racist comments, stuff I don't really want to repeat, but this is just like normal. It was normal for them, I guess, to say these kinds of things. It wasn't normal for me to hear because I grew up in a very diverse area, but that just is not the way we spoke to people, not things we heard from people.
This is a really bad answer to like a very serious question, but the moment I felt the most judged was when I rewatched Lost for the 3rd time, and this guy was like, "That's 9 seasons. How can you do that?" And I took it very personally. So
That's all I have to say.
Why did you say that to her?
Because loss is a waste of time. It took 9 years of my life, and I can't get those 9 years back. Yeah.
Wasn't when I when I was in elementary school, I tried to get out of band practice once because I had to go to the bathroom, and my teacher wouldn't let me, and so I was just kept on raising my hands like, "Can I go to the bathroom, please?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Okay." So I ended up pissing my pants, and I was just pissed my pants. I didn't say it like that. And she's like, "All right, just go." Luckily, I had black pants on, so it wasn't like noticeably like pissy. But yeah, I knew that everyone was laughing at me after that. And besides that, I can't think of another time that I've been judged terribly. Although I'm pretty sure I get judged every day.
I think now. I mean, I judge myself now, right? So,
How so?
I mean, and how I am, how I interface with the world, right? I want to make sure I'm right? I want to walk upright. I want to be right. So I want to be proper, and so yeah.
So would you say that you're kind with your judgment of yourself, or pretty harsh?
I could be both.
When I got tattooed, when I talked about it with some friends, they were like, "You? I never expected from you." So I was like, "Oh, well, I like them, but if you don't, then sorry, it's my choice."
Cool. Can you show us your tattoo, or is it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, there are 6 now. This was the first one. It's with my boyfriend.
Are you still with him?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What does that one say?
It's Chaparrita.
What
It's
is that?
my nickname in my sister's handwriting.
What's that one?
This reminds me of my sister. She passed away, and this is the year that she was born.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching another episode. Basically, I just want to say welcome to the new subscribers, and to the subscribers who have been with me for a while. I want to thank you for constantly supporting my channel. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys again for everything, and I'll see you next week.